So please help me welcome our CEO, our top dog, all around amazing leader, Mr. Roger Morgan!
Excited to be here? So fun. We've got an amazing couple of days planned together, and I have no doubt we'll accomplish all of our objectives, which I'll share with you in a minute. But I want to start out by sharing with you the answer to a question I love to get. And that's when people say to me, what is it that pawTree does? Or who is pawTree? You know, what is it you guys do? And I love to tell people that some people mistakenly think that what we do is sell pet products or pet nutrition or amazing pet nutrition. And while we do offer those products for purchase, what we do is we change lives. That's what motivates us and inspires us. What we do is make a difference in the lives of pets. And what we do is bring love home. That's what we do. That's what gets us excited and motivated and energized about doing what we do every day. So that's the way I want to start out, and thinking about in the context of bringing love home. I want to share with you the reasons why I am so excited and optimistic about our future. And this is a picture I took. It was just a little selfie I took at the office a couple weeks ago as I was preparing my comments for this. And I started making a list of all the reasons I'm so excited and so optimistic about our future. And the list kept going on. And I got to 10, and I'm like, but I can't leave out that. And I added 11, and I'm like, I can't leave out that. And I got to 12, and I thought, I can't leave out that. And I got to 13, I said 13, I can't go to 13. 13 would not be good. I'll kind of cram it into 12. So 12 reasons why I'm so optimistic about our future. And I'm going to share all of them with you, and at the end of the 12, I've got one summary slide that if you want to take a picture of, you're welcome to it. It has all 12 reasons at the end. So with that, you guys want to hear why I'm so optimistic about our future? All right, well, it starts like anything does because we make such a difference in the lives of pets and people. So that's number one. And I'm going to actually share a couple of testimonials. And I just picked these first couple testimonials up off the website. They were both written in July. I hope you guys go to that website often to see the amazing stories that are shared about the difference that we're making in the lives of pets and people. But let me just read this one to you. I don't know Eileen, and I don't know Debbie. I don't know if Debbie is here. Debbie is the pet pro for Eileen. But she says, Eileen says, this product is a lifesaver. Cats can be picky eaters, and two of mine were turning their noses up to just about every flavor I offered them. I was running out of options. My friend, who is a representative, told me about the seasonings. Unbelievable. They are eating everything now. I have 3 flavors, and they love every one. If I don't put it on their food, we love this, they walk away. But then I shake a bottle, and they come running right back. I'm so happy. Key in on those words. I'm so happy she shared this with me. And I have shared it with my friends as well. I love pawTree, Eileen. How about that as an amazing, making a difference. Right? We're truly making a difference. And then here's another one also in July. This is from Brooke, and her pet pro is Megan Black. I don't know if Megan's here. When I first brought Carmen home to be my service animal, I had no clue we would be in for a wild ride. She had such bad allergies. And it was so scary to experience because at first I had no clue what was going on. She was constantly biting her paws and bum. She had dry skin, a terrible coat, hot spots. She was even bleeding from her paws. It broke my heart to see her like this. I was so happy to find pawTree. As soon as I made a dietary change, I could almost immediately see a difference in her. The photo is one of her now on pawTree's amazing grain-free diet. So happy with their product quality, I've even decided to feed my 3 cats and other dog pawTree too, Brooke. How about that? These are amazing. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more just just like that. I just happened to choose 2 in July. But do you see there are a couple key words that I highlighted? What are some of the words you saw? Happy. Do you see that? We're making people happy. So clearly these are stories about pets. And we clearly made pets happy, right? But did you see the impact we had on people in the process? Pretty amazing. So 2 examples of why the number 1 reason I'm so optimistic about the future is because of the difference that we are making as we bring love home to these pets. We're bringing love home to the family as well, and truly making a difference in people's lives to make them happier. I mean, that's a pretty important job to help somebody be happy, and that's what we get to do every day. Now, it doesn't stop there. I've actually got 2 more examples, and these are even more directly how we have made people happy or made a difference in people's lives and changed people's lives. So, the first one here, I'm sorry, I wanted to give a quick commercial. If you have customers or yourself who have these amazing stories and they're your kept little secrets because you tell them to you and like your close 3 or 4 friends, I would encourage you to invite those friends or customers to put those stories on our website. They can get a bag of free treats when they do. And the more important thing is that means those testimonials and stories are available for all of us to share with our friends and family and prospects and so forth. So the more we can get those stories into one place, and you can share, as you probably know, from that webpage, you can actually share anybody's story from that page, and it takes them directly to your site. So it's a wonderful tool available. So that's my quick plug. So 2 more stories I want to share. This one is Mandy McTiernan. Where's Mandy? Oh, right there, front row. So Mandy, one of our 1-star vice presidents, Mandy wrote in a post recently after she was promoted to 1-star vice president, I am a 6-year Air Force veteran and a current active duty spouse. The best part is pawTree goes where I go. I get to meet a whole new community of people that I've never seen the benefits, that have never seen the benefits pawTree has to offer each time my family moves. I look forward to sharing pawTree at each new duty location. Not to mention it can go with you if you ever get stationed overseas. pawTree ships to APO addresses. And you can build your business online. It really is a perfect fit for military, vet, spouse, reservist, guard, or active duty. And then here's where it really gets exciting. Last year, I earned enough money from pawTree to pay for my daughter's entire year of private school tuition, something we couldn't have afforded otherwise. This fall, I plan on adding a new minivan to our growing family, paid for with pawTree income. It was a no-brainer for me to join pawTree, and the changes it has made in my life, the life of my family, and my dogs have been huge and for the better. How about that? Are we making a difference in Mandy's life? So you can see, and certainly probably everybody in this room has a version of that story, that we are making a difference in the lives of our pet pros. And that one is clearly, there's all kinds of things you could read into that, but certainly the last part of it really around the income and what we're helping to provide for Mandy's family. And then here's the last one. This is Michelle Ross. Where's Michelle, Executive Director? Yeah, Michelle, who dunked me last night. Michelle, who dunked me. This is paybacks, Michelle. So I'm spotlighting Michelle here. She sent me a note after she promoted to Executive Director that said, I just wanted to send you a quick note to thank you for pawTree and all that you do until recently, and look here for the details of how we changed Michelle's life. Until recently, I've never had much confidence in myself. I've always felt unappreciated and unworthy. I also never thought I could be a good leader for fear of disappointing my team or upline. The people at pawTree have really, really helped me with this. My self-confidence has improved tremendously. pawTree has been such a blessing to me. I have never been a part of a company that cares as much about its consultants as pawTree does. I feel like I'm a part of a family, not just a number. I really appreciate all you, Melissa, Elke, and Mandy have done to help me and all the pet pros be a success in pawTree. It truly is an amazing company that I love and have a true passion for. I don't see myself ever leaving this company. It's not just a phase, it's a place I feel that I am meant to be. I am blessed to have found pawTree, and I love you all very much. Have we helped Michelle with the difference in her life? Yeah, wonderful, yeah. We're proud of you, Michelle. those are some of the stories that I'm just highlighting a few. I mean, there are so many stories. And so again, that's the first reason out of 12 why I'm so optimistic about our future is because of the difference we are truly making in the lives of pets and people in so many ways. And those are just a few examples. All right, so let's go on to number 2, and that is our consistent and strong sales growth and pet pro growth. And I have no doubt by the time we're finished here, that bar is going to continue spiking month after month after month, and we're off to the races. And so, very exciting, and again, the second reason why I am so optimistic about the future is because our sales and our pet pro growth continues to grow steadily, consistently, and very strong. All right, you ready for number 3? You can get back to taking pictures if you need to. Number 3 is our amazing product line and our amazing product pipeline. So I'll first talk a little bit about our product line. You guys know our products as well as anybody. But the things that make me excited with our product line is, first of all, our products are very high quality, and as I mentioned in the first example, they really make a difference. And that really creates a foundation that we can all build on confidently when we have amazing products. So that's the first thing. We also have products that can address both dog and cat, which are the 2 largest species of pets by far. And we already, in these first few short years of business, have an extensive product line that can help dogs and cats. So that's exciting. And then, that's not all. We have a breadth of products that address so many different health issues. Right? We know from research and from experience in the pet industry what the biggest issues are that affect pets and the pet parents, and we've addressed those issues with our amazing product line. So we really have already, I mean, if we were just to say, that's it, no more new product developments, no new product launches, we would be fine and set for a long time because our product line is so rich and so amazing. And so with that, we won't have any product announcements today. I'm kidding, of course we will. In fact, we have such an extensive product pipeline. I want to tell you something. Our product pipeline, if you could see what's in my head and what's in Brooke's head, you would be a little frightened, first of all. But second of all, you would be so excited, and it's exhilarating to think about all of the new products that we will launch over the many years. We have a pipeline that goes out many, many years, with a whole bunch of products on the sideline that we haven't even put into a timeline. And that's how, because there are so many opportunities to affect in a wonderful way the lives of pets and people through incredible products when you don't compromise on quality, when you have some creativity, when you have some innovation. And unfortunately, there's a lot of products out there that just are kind of me too. They're on the shelf. They try to get the lowest price so that people, and that's not the approach we take. We take the approach, we want to launch a product that makes a difference in the life of a pet and a person. So with that, would you guys like a sneak peek behind the curtain? I bet you would, but you're not going to get it right now. You're not going to get it right now. But I bet you would. I was pretty sure you would say yes to that. Yeah, I grew up, there's 8 kids in my family, and I'm second oldest, and all my siblings can tell you that I'm a big tease. So I do like I couldn't resist that one, but you guys fell right into it. That was good. That was good. So we're not going to, we might have some new product announcements, but just know and rest assured that we have a full and rich and exciting product pipeline that takes us many years into the future. So, all right, after that little tease, how about our strong and stable IT platform? All right, where's Jana? Take a stand, there we go. Yes, we truly do. We're blessed to have Jana on the team, and we are blessed to have a foundation that is scalable, that's stable, that is ready for growth. And that has come at a lot of personal sacrifice on Jana's part, a lot of time and effort on many, many other individuals' part, and a lot of cost and investment on our part to create a foundation that is stable, that is strong, and that is scalable. And that's, again, that's number 4 on my list of 12 why I'm so excited and optimistic about our future is because of that amazing foundation. Number 5 is our shift from kind of leading with pet food as our sales approach to leading with paw pairings, with the pet food seasonings as our sales approach. And there are several reasons. You can look at the bullets here on the page. I'll just highlight them, especially for some of the new folks who haven't heard all the speeches that I've given between February and now on the one thing. Right? We talked about the one thing, leading with the one thing. We have an incredible arsenal of products, but really, really important for all of us to be duplicatable, right? So we can grow faster, to all be doing the same thing at the beginning, which is lead with the one thing, paw pairings, right? You don't like to eat the same thing every day, and neither do your pets. How simple, how easy. And so leading with that, and then moving to other products, which we'll talk about. But here's some of the reasons why is such an exciting product to lead with and why it's working. And it is working. Ever since February when we focused on it, it's working incredibly well, and you can see it with the growth in our sales numbers. But first of all, it's a brand new category, right? So nobody's heard of it. And I'm sure, I hope all of you have used those words. You don't like to eat the same thing every day, and neither do your pets. And what happens when you say that to somebody? Exactly. Just like Tracy's doing. Their head goes like this. I mean, it happens 99.9% of the time. Their head goes like this. And otherwise, it's because they have a neck brace and they can't move their head, but they're going like that. Right? And it's just so intuitive. People are like, oh, it's so true. They kind of think like, huh, I wonder. That light bulb just kind of goes ding. You kind of wait for it. You're like, you don't like to eat the same thing every day, and neither do your pets. Light bulb, you know, and it goes on. Right? It's true. You've all been there. So that's one reason, because it's so intuitive. It's a new category nobody's thought about, and so it's not like, yeah, I know, and I use that, and I've been doing that for 10 years, and what else do you got? You know, it's like, I mean, everybody, it's like, oh, wow, like an epiphany that they're ready to listen to more. It's also, you know, all pets can use it, so it doesn't matter if they're old or young, dog or cat, male or female, itchy skin or no itchy skin, perfectly in good health or a mess. All pets can use these products, which are amazing. It's simple and fun to sample, right? You get immediate, instant gratification as the pet parent, and as the pet pro when you're like, try it, just see what happens. You know, just stand over here for about 1 second and see if your pet ever eats again without it. So very exciting. Easy to get it. We talked about low price point, right? I mean, anybody who can afford a dog or a cat can afford a $15 bottle of something to make their pet incredibly happy and healthy. Right? It's not a huge barrier. If they want to, they can. They can scrape up $15 to try it. And then, of course, the immediate results. So lots of good reasons and an amazing twist to our strategy that is really working and very exciting. And I do want to share with you, I'm a numbers guy. I like to run the numbers, and I've been in the pet industry a long time, and I've had some really exciting positions in the pet industry to help me see things from a big perspective and the whole industry and how it kind of comes together. And I will tell you, I really do believe that what we are creating is a $1 billion category with these pet food seasonings. This is how big this is. And you all are on the forefront of that. Like, every time you talk to somebody, it's the first time they've heard of pawTree, and it's the first time they've heard of putting pet food seasoning on your pet food. And this is going to be true for several years. And we get to build this category. And we'll have copycats, and there'll be others join, and that's fine. That's just a wonderful form of flattery, right? When somebody copies, and that's okay. People have copied our pet profile and other things over the years. That's fine. The pet industry is a $70 billion industry. There's room for others, but nobody will do it as well as we do. We know that. We do know that. And then I do want to take the opportunity, before I go on to number 6, and talk about the process. So we talked about leading with paw pairings, but it's really important that we don't stop at paw pairings, because we just talked about all this amazing, incredible arsenal of products that we have at our fingertips already. And before we're going to continue going down our product pipeline evolution to other products and other product categories, we need to master this approach, right? Leading with the paw pairings, coming after with all the amazing products that we have, and making sure people are taking advantage of the full arsenal of the pet nutrition that we offer, because that's the way to get the most impact for the pet, right? We'll make the difference in more pets' lives, more people's lives, more pet pros' lives, if we make sure that we don't just lead with the sample, lead with the paw pairings, and disappear. Right? Yesterday in Leader Day, I think it was Joe. Where's Joe? Joe mentioned, we were saying, well, when is the right time to follow up, right? So if you lead with the paw pairings and you've shared, hey, you don't like to eat the same thing every day and neither do your pets, and they try it, they decide to buy some, when's a good time to follow up and get them to, be interested in the other products? Anybody, shout it out. How long should you wait? What's that? Case by case? What else did I hear? 24 hours. Immediately, 24 hours? When their pets need it? Okay. Anytime? All right, so you guys are on it, right? So first of all, I'll give you the example of what not to do, and I think this is the example with Joe yesterday. She said, well, if a pet has like a GI issue and they're like, oh yeah, so you don't like to eat the same thing every day, neither do your pets. Oh, that's so amazing, I definitely want to try it, that's awesome. Gosh, I've had so many problems with my pets, like, it has bad gas, it clears the room, and loose stool, and it's just been so difficult. We've been looking all over for something that could fix this, and you're like, it's too bad. That is too bad, because I have to wait 1 month before I can let you know about that product. Right? I mean, let's use a little common sense, some good judgment, right? It's like, well, and then it was Timothy who mentioned, I'll take a page from his book, once you lead with the paw pairings and you say, oh, and if you get 3, you get free shipping. And by the way, then you could add the GastroPro Plus on and that ships free too. Or you could add the food on and that ships free too. Right? So we can always, either in the first conversation or in a very soon conversation after, talk about all of the wonderful supplements we have. We can talk about the customized food and how you can get your awesome, cute pet's photo on the bag and name it, and certainly all the other hard goods and wonderful toys and beds and blankets and things that we have. So whole arsenal, we don't want to forget that in the focus on the one thing. The one thing we've been calling it the tip of the spear. Right? That very first entry point that you have a conversation, and then quickly, as soon as it makes sense, move into the rest of the spear. You have a whole arsenal of products to share. All right, so that is number 5. Let's go on to number 6, which is our branding and our creative, our videos. How about, yeah, right? Where's Tammy Roseville? Stand up, Tammy. And where's Monica and Gracie? You guys. Very, very impressive, and we're not done yet, but they have, Tammy and her team with Monica and Gracie have truly just given us an entire professional facelift with pretty much every PDF, every web page, every video, everything that has been coming out from a branding and a creative perspective. It just looks great. The photography on these paw pairings, right, just really, I mean, it's like we have taken it up a notch. So this is number 6 on my list of why I'm so optimistic about the future. All right, that's 6. Does anybody need a break? Or you're like, is your brand overload yet, or can we keep going? You guys all right? Okay. All right, number 7. Oh, actually, before we do 6, I forgot. I actually want to play. We have 2 recent videos, and I hope you're using these videos. I wanted to bring a little attention to that. One is the Shake It Up video. You guys using this when you talk about paw pairings? It is a great video. I'm not going to show that one, so I just want to remind you that exists. It's less than a minute, and it's the one where it shows the dog eating the same thing every single day, and the woman eating the same thing, and then she finally, has the epiphany and shakes the seasonings on. They're happy, and they leave together, and the world's a better place. That video. So that's it is so succinct at creating that light bulb to go on in a fun way for people. So I would use that as you talk about paw pairings. It's a great follow-up. Hey, did you try it? Here's a video, etc. The other video that we have is the one, kind of our theme song, our theme video for pawFest, which is our Bring Love Home video, and it really gets to the essence of the brand, that emotional connection of how what we are doing truly brings love home, and that kind of connection between the pet and the pet parent that is grounded in love, which is in the core of our vision statement, right? To create a world filled with unconditional love, where pets and their people thrive. So let's watch this video. Wonderful. So we really do have some amazing creative assets to help support you in sharing the story and getting the word out And so let's go on to number 7, if you're ready, which is our sales kit and our sales process. And I lump those together. Our kit, I think, has really it's an amazing improvement. And I loved the old, those of you who got the roller bag with everything in it, you got one of all the supplements and all that stuff. It was great. It was a really nice presentation and nice to get all that product. But I will tell you, one of the things that it was doing is getting that new Pet Pro a little bit paralyzed. Because like, wow, look at all this stuff, and I better learn everything about this before I go talk to somebody. Because what they ask me, what's the ingredients in the joint support? Well, I better read that and try it and this and that. And now, when they get that kit, is there any doubt what they're supposed to go do? No doubt. It is like, if you don't know what to do when you get that kit, even if you never heard of pawTree, we shipped it to the wrong address, and you open it up, you know what to do. You're like, I get it. I'm gonna make these up and go hand them out to people. See what happens. I mean, there's no doubt. And the sales process, when I say the sales process, our TSA, T is what? Talk, right? Talk, dog, and cat to people. We do it anyway. The S is what? Share. Share a sample, share a video. And the A? Ask. I hope those of you who were here last year remember to follow up and ask, right? Just ask them. We'll just ask them. Okay, so, and by the way, the ask is both, hey, would you like to try the product? And, hey, would you like to become a Pet Pro? Right? Ask can and should be both of those. So really simple. I mean, it is such a simple, you can have that conversation, you can do that sales process. There's not a lot of training needed. There's not a lot of, worry needed. There's not a lot of explanation needed. You definitely don't need to have your PhD in pawTree to do that. It's just, hand out a sample and have a very brief conversation. So that's wonderful. Now, speaking of training, I'm going to also say that number 8 is our amazing training, and Tammy is coming backstage. But, there she is. Stand up, Tammy. Tammy is really down. Amazing training, and that really is a result of a lot of people contributing under Tammy's leadership to make sure we say the right thing at the right time to the right people and make the right information available. And it is actually a tricky challenge and I think she's done an amazing job at making sure that that brand new Pet Pro has just enough information to move forward, but not so much information that they're paralyzed. And that is a really tricky balance, honestly. And then, speaking of the balance, to have enough information and training available for all of the experienced Pet Pros who are ready for that next bite at the apple to go a little deeper, that it's available without intimidating or overwhelming the new people who aren't ready for that. And it's an amazing balancing act that I think Tammy's done an excellent job of. I think I think the brand new Pet Pro, I really do think between the Fast Start training, the Rallywear training, the Thursday call that's focused on new Pet Pros and what they get in their kit, I think, and the emails that they receive, I think it's very clear, very focused. And for everybody else, when you have that one-off difficult question that pops up that you're not sure, the information to answer that question, I think we have done an amazing job making all of that available to you in the back office, the trainings, the video trainings, the product trainings, the PDFs. You've got support. You've got an FAQ in the back office that basically every time we get a question into support, if we think it's appropriate for the whole field to know, we share it with the Pet Pros and that's updated regularly. So if there's a new question, you can go to your FAQs even before asking the support, or you can certainly ask support and they'll go copy and paste it and send it to you. It's pretty much what they do. So lots of help available, including your upline, but amazing training. And again, these are all just coming back to why I'm so optimistic about our future, because we have all of these things in place. This is like building an amazing house and having all the foundation, all the walls, all the carpet, all the drapes, everything is ready. It's not just the foundation, everything is ready. The amazing creative, the website, the videos, the branding, like all of those things. That's like the final details. That's like the photo, the perfect photo over the fireplace. It's all there for us. It's all ready. So that's number 8. Let's go to number 9. And this one, I've shared this image with the leaders before on a leader call. And I want to share with everybody this concept of how we've gone from, and this is true for any startup, when you're in startup land, things, you're trying to figure stuff out. And you might be like this photo where you kind of know you want to go that way in the jungle, but there's no path because nobody's been there yet. And so you're carving the path, and you get your machete out and you start whacking away, and you whack yourself into a place where it's like got this huge stump, and you're like, I guess we can't go that way, let's go around it. And you figure it out, right? And you get all that stuff cleared, and you realize exactly where you're going. And we've gone from that to this. This is the difference visually in what pawTree was and what it is, right? Where we were, where we are. Harder, easier. Slower, faster, right? And I want to just highlight, there's so many stories I could share, but one came up yesterday in the leader meeting where we actually had an opportunity to spotlight, interview Brett Weber. And Brett, if you could wave so everybody knows who you are, that's Brett. I just want to share, and there are a lot of stories that are related to this, similar to this, not this exact story, but I just want to share Brett's story. Brett joined us in April of this year, a few months ago. And Brett, within his first 14 days, and I want to just, before I actually tell you his things, so how much faster in this visual, just directly, how much faster would you be able to walk the same distance in that jungle or this one? Like twice as fast? Like 10 times? Yeah, right? It's like a step function. It's not like a little, it's not like 10% faster or even double. It's like a lot faster, right? Because you could actually, if you wanted to, this one you couldn't really ever run. You could like probably get bruised up and like kind of muscle your way through, but this one, like if you wanted to, you could run up those stairs. So this is Brett running. So in his first 14 days, he promoted to senior pet pro within his first 14 days. But didn't stop there. Within his first 14 days, he promoted to director in his first 14 days. In his first 14 days, he promoted to senior director, and he almost promoted to executive director by the end of his first month. And that is running in a path that's been very clear. So congratulations, Brad. The path has been clear. And again, if we had time, I could go probably table to table and share stories of what's happened in these recent months. As we've cleared the path is ready, you can run, and I'm sharing that with everybody because some of us have been around a long time and remember that. And what I'm trying to help you realize, and Brett's example is a perfect one, there are many others in the room, that this is the new reality, so don't be kind of caught in that world when this is the reality. Right? This is the world we live in, and it's a result of the 12 things I'm going through right now, and this is one that is just, the path is clear, like we can run. It's very, very exciting. All right, we're building up to number 10. How about the Paw Up bonus campaign? All right? Very exciting. This is real money on the table, folks. This is a very exciting campaign that's very strategic. Why we did it at the time we did it, why we gave it the amount of months we did for you to earn those bonuses, but this is real money on the table. I won't go through the details. Hopefully you all know it. Hopefully you've all got a goal in your mind of how far up that bonus chain you want to be by October 31st when it ends. And I do want to share 2 examples of people who have already gotten into the leadership portions of these bonuses. And where's Tim? Tim Hargett? Go ahead and stand up, Tim. Tim got the $2,500 Vice President bonus. $2,500. He's got to keep his title now for the next several months. And where's Amber? Amber, stand up. Amber got the $15,000 two-star bonus. $15,000. She's got to keep her title up to get all of it. But that's, so both of them, I mean, that's amazing. That's real money. And they did it already, and we've got 3 more months, August, September, October, plus some of July. 3, all around 3.5, 4 months. You have 4 months to do that. So you've got time to do what you want to do, set your goals as you kind of work through pawFest, decide how far up that Paw Up bonus campaign you want to be by October 31st. It's real money, and it does reward for, I will say, sponsoring new people and building a team. That's really important. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. All right, let's go to number 11. Number 11, our strong home office team. Yes. They deserve a standing O. Thank you. That's right. We truly, and I've spotlighted a few based on the functions that we've gone through, and you'll have other opportunities to meet the whole home office staff. But truly, we have an incredible home office staff. And I don't just mean from a personality and kind of work ethic perspective, which I do mean that as well. I mean, they are amazing people, they're amazing human beings, and they are incredible in their skill set and the area of expertise that they bring to pawTree. They've all had incredible responsibilities at other companies that are far bigger than where we are now. And part of my desire, as I started at the very beginning, putting all this together, is to build a company, a team, a brand, a product line that can scale and fill the world. And you can't do that with a team that doesn't know how to scale and that one knows how to do something this big. So we have a team that knows how to do things this big, and right now we're doing things this big because we're growing. And last year we did things this big, and the year before we did things this big. And each year, we're getting bigger as we keep growing, and our team is capable, competent, skilled, and going to take us there. As far as you want to go, the team will take you there. That I can assure you. We have an amazing home office team. All right, and the 12th. And it's not really final, but again, I didn't want to take too, anyway, the 13 is just not a good number. So the 12th, and for today, final reason why I am so optimistic about our future is some of the third-party validation that we've been receiving. And it's been consistent kind of over the 4.5 years. But recently, there's been a really exciting award that was given to us. And I actually want to go back in time before I catch you up with what happened last month with the award we got. So going back in time, before the company even started. So I showed you the sales numbers. We started for business. We kind of opened up our website and started accepting pet pros and customers January of 2014. But I actually was working on this business for almost 1.5 years before that. That's how long I've been working on with other help and resources, putting everything together. You start with literally nothing. You start with an idea in your head, and there's a lot that has to happen before you're open for business. And during that time, I entered a competition with our business plan, with the pawTree business plan. It's called the Harvard Business School New Venture Competition. And every year, this is a worldwide competition. People from all over the world come with their very best business ideas. They have to put it, and there's a lot of work that goes into preparing a business plan. You screen with people, you do a first pass, an interview, a blah, blah, blah. And eventually, those who make the cut get to go present their business plan in front of venture capitalists in regions. They have 10 regions around the world. And pawTree, I got to go represent all of us, even though you didn't know at the time I was representing you. I got to go present the pawTree business plan to the region that Texas is part of, and pawTree was awarded the first place for the new venture competition in that region, so it was one of the 10 regions. Very exciting. And this, again, is before we actually had launched, so this was a business plan. And so we won the region, which meant the 10 winners of the 10 regions got to fly into Boston and go at the Harvard Business School and present to another panel of even more experienced venture capitalists and so forth, and meet each other and brainstorm and network. And they had entrepreneurial professors share classes with us for a few days. And it was a wonderful experience. We got to present, and I got to represent pawTree on basically that world stage with 10 other regions from around the world in a very exciting competition that was wonderfully validating for pawTree before we even really birthed. So that's where we started, and we already were getting that kind of validation. Now I want to fast forward to last month and share with you what happened. There's an industry association called the Direct Selling Association. So we belong to two industry associations. There's the American Pet Products Association, the APPA, and that's an association that pretty much anybody who sells a pet product is part of that association. That's an association I actually got to be on the board of for 7 years, and I was the chairman of that board for 2 years before starting pawTree. The other industry association that we're part of is the Direct Selling Association, and there are thousands of members, and they have an event. Their annual event was last month. And so we were there and networking and talking to people and having presenters and so forth. There's a lot that we learn at those industry events. And the last night, they do kind of like our gala, they do an award presentation. And everybody gets dressed up, and they go and they give awards for some of the top companies doing the top things. And they give one award each year to what they call the Rising Star. And the Rising Star is basically a young company that's up and coming that they think has all the characteristics to eventually one day be a powerhouse in the direct sales industry. And can you imagine how excited we were to receive the Rising Star Award from the Getting an award like this doesn't mean any more pets get, change their lives or any more people change their lives. It certainly helps in validation of something we already know and believe. And that's the thing that I like about this is it's neat to see others start to recognize what we already know, which is what an amazing business this is, amazing opportunity it is, a life-changing opportunity for pets, for people, for pet pros, all across the board, and fun to get that recognition. I also wanted to point out, this is a good time to share, that we also have, we are recognized by the DSA as a participant in their 2017 to 2018 DSA Code of Ethics Communication Initiative. And so that's something that we take seriously, our ethics within the Direct Sales Association, the direct selling industry, because there are companies that kind of, get close to that gray area of what's ethical and what's not, and we stay far away from the gray area, and we're recognized by the DSA as doing so. So that was all right, so there's the top 12 reasons why. I've been working on this company for 6 years. We launched 4.5 years ago. In the history of our company, I've never been more optimistic about our future than I am right now for those 12 reasons. So I hope you're excited as well. We have a very bright future ahead. And all of the sales slides and the Pet Pro slides that I shared, I have no doubt they're going to continue to grow and at a faster and a more accelerated rate and get stronger and stronger. So are you guys ready to bring love home? All right, I knew you were. All right, so let's shift now. So just pause for a minute, those are the 12 reasons. I'm super excited. It sounds like you all are too. We know why we should be so excited. Now I'm going to kind of move into a second segment of my opening remarks and talk a little bit about how it is that we bring love home, how that cycle works, and what we need to do to flood the earth with this wonderful message and change more pets in people's lives. All right, so that's where we're headed next. Optimistic for those 12 reasons. Now we're headed to how we can flood the earth with that amazing message of bringing love home. And I'm going to start by talking about our cycle, and you could call this the Bring Love Home cycle, the Make a Difference cycle, but basically it starts with the pet trying our product, right? A pet tries our product, and we all know what happens. The pet likes it, and of course, when the pet likes it, who does that make happy? The pet parent gets happy, right? When the pet parent's happy and the pet's happy, who else is happy? The pet pro's happy, so now everybody's happy. And you guys think I'm making it up, but we read the testimonials, right? I just copy-pasted. Everybody's happy. I'm happy, happy, happy. Thank you, pawTree. I'm happy, happy, happy. So that's the result. And when people are happy, what do they naturally want to do? They go share it with other people. And when they do, the cycle starts over again. Another pet tries it, and here we go. We're off to the races, right? That's how it all happens. So there could be a part at the very, very beginning, which is because somebody's got to start the cycle, right? Chicken or egg. So yeah, once somebody hears about it, yeah, it keeps going. But chicken or egg? How do we actually get that first pet to try it? How do we get the conversation going? And that's what I want to talk about, is flooding the earth with our message, with our mission, with the impact that we can have on pets and people's lives. And so think about a map for a second. Think about the map of the U.S. We'll start on the U.S. Eventually it will be a bigger map, but let's start there. It's plenty big for us right now. We'll get plenty of growth right here in the U.S. So think about your own communities. Think about how many people in your communities even know about pawTree. And I want to share with you an exercise that I took our leaders through at Last Legacy, which is sometimes when I get reflective. I grew up in Utah, and in Utah there's mountains. I've lived in Texas now for 17 years, but when I was younger, I'd go to the mountains. Right? I'd go to the mountains, you could think, you kind of get a bird's eye view and kind of look. And I thought, well, in Texas there's no mountains, there's no way to really get a bird's eye view. So then I thought, well, what if I could kind of, float above my house and just get a bird's eye view of where we live. So I've got this video, and I want to share this with you. That's my house. That's my pool, the middle house right there. I think you see Bella in the backyard. So this is my neighborhood, and I thought people in my neighborhood know about pawTree. There's probably now 500 homes right there, and probably only a dozen or two even really know about pawTree, and now we're probably up to 1,000 or 2,000 homes. And as we keep scaling out, right, this is now probably just my town of Southlake, which is 30 or 40,000 people. And then you start scaling out and you get more into some of the other cities in the Dallas area, right? Just, Dallas and Fort Worth and McKinney and Plano and Frisco, etc. There's like 6 million people in the Metroplex. So then I went to Leanne's house. Sorry, I was, Leanne. Yeah, sorry, Leanne. So I was, what do you call it when you? Stalking. Yeah, I was stalking your house. So here's Leanne. Here's the Kansas City area, massive, millions of people. Then I went over here, thought, well, let's look at Stephanie's house. I took some of our VPs. So here's Stephanie in the Phoenix area. Right as you span out, there's millions of people in the greater Phoenix area, millions of people. And then I went over here and said, let's look at, I think this is Nancy's house up in Seattle area. Let's look at Seattle. How many homes are there in Seattle? Several million in that greater Seattle area. Truly massive, right? How many of these people know anything about pawTree? And then I went here to Elka's house and took a bird's eye view there, and you can see as we span out, again, there's Trish's house too. Don't worry, I've got them. There's Amber's house. So as you look at this and you think about your own neighborhoods, and as you kind of imagine panning out, you see your house, Robin? All right. Robin's house, and then I think I finished here with Trish's. This is massive in opportunity, right? If you just try to, for a second, think about, you probably feel like you've talked to I've talked to so many people. You've talked to nobody. Right? Nobody. So the world is waiting to hear from us. pawTree is the best kept secret. Like, we're all going crazy. Look at all these pets' lives, all these people's lives, and oh my gosh, and hugging and bringing love home. And it's like the world's like, crickets just. They have no idea. They have no idea. And so, a question for you is, what is our limiting factor for growing and flooding the world with this message? And a limiting factor, I want to give you a definition. It's an actual technical term. A limiting factor is a factor that causes the growth of a population to decrease. Okay, so that's a limiting factor. There's some examples on the right. So if you're a population someplace in the world and you don't have enough food or water, your population is going to decline. That's a limiting factor. Or if you have disease in your community that's killing off the community, that's a limiting factor to growth, right? Some things can be positive sources of strength, like food and water. Some can be negative things that tear you down, like disease. And we have a limiting factor in pawTree to our growth. We have a limiting factor, and we can change it, but if we don't change it, we will be limited in our growth. That's a fact, right? The limiting factor, that's just a fact of life. If you have a limiting factor, it will limit your growth. So I want to share with you, what is that limiting factor? Does anybody think they know what our limiting factor is? Pet pros, not sharing. Sponsoring, that's exactly right. We need more pet pros. We need more sponsoring so we get more pet pros, right? If you think about the cycle, more sponsoring means more pet pros. More pet pros means there's more samples being given out, more pets trying it, then we go back to that cycle we talked about, right? We all know what happens once the pet tries it. That cycle works and then it repeats. But we need more people on the starting end of that cycle, and that means we need more pet pros. And if we need more pet pros, we need more sponsoring. That truly, I can tell you right now, is our only limiting factor. Those 12 reasons why I told you I'm so optimistic about our future, they're there. They're already in place. The house is built. It's beautiful. The very first testimonials I shared help us know that. The house is beautiful. And it's ready. We're ready to bring love home. But to do that, we need more sponsoring, we need more pet pros, and then we can really make hay. You saw what happened in June. On those charts I shared, our sales spiked. What does that mean if sales spike? What else is spiking? Your income, sales, the lives that are being changed, right? All that happens. And if I rewind, well, sales spiked. Well, I wonder how that happened. What was the other slide that I shared? Sponsoring. What happened to sponsoring? It spiked. So no surprise. We have a huge month in sponsoring, big spike. We have a huge jump in sales, big spike. We have a huge jump in pets' lives being changed, people's lives being changed, people being happy in their homes, bringing love home. Your income's going up. You guys are celebrating loves, hugs, everything, right? And it all started back here because we had a huge month in sponsoring. So there's kind of a cadence you can see here, right? There's a flow that works, and I can assure you that is our limiting factor. If we can address that, bam, you watch out, because it's going to happen. Here we go. So let's talk about getting a stronger sponsoring culture, and it really is about changing our attitude about sponsoring, right? You guys know how to do it. I think and I'll take responsibility, we haven't emphasized it, reinforced it, trained it, kept it front and center enough, and that's what I'm asking all of us today to really, today and tomorrow, you'll hear a lot about sponsoring. And you're going to hear some amazing motivational experiences around sponsoring. You're going to hear some training to help you feel more confident about sponsoring. And I think we're going to even have some kind of a strong visual that will be etched in your mind forever, that you'll wish you could get out, but you won't be able to, that will remind you about having a sponsoring attitude. So that's to come, a lot around this attitude, but it's very exciting. And I do want to, I want to share a story that happened just last night. Let's see. Oh, all right. Yeah, exactly. There's Kathleen. Where's Barbara? There's Barbara. All right. Okay, so raise your hand, Barbara and Kathleen. Let's start with you guys. So last night, Kathleen and Barbara are in the lobby, getting ready for all the festivities, and they're doing what all good pet pros do, which is TSA, right? They're just talking dog to people and sharing and getting to know people. And in comes a woman, Shelly. And Shelly, they start talking, and what do you do? And they push play and talk about the TSA, and one thing leads to another, and good for them. They don't wait for 6 months for the perfect opportunity to talk about sponsoring, right? Like some of us who are like, okay, I'm going to get them the seasonings, I'll give them that sample, I'll hope they buy the 3 for $30, and then I'm going to go hide and hope that nothing bad happens, and maybe one day at the perfect opportunity, when she has a sign on her forehead that says, I want to do what you do and be a pet pro, I'll open up the door for that, right? They didn't do that. They talked about the opportunity, and, and so Shelly's like, wow, that sounds really interesting. I'm actually really interested. And so one of them, I'm not sure who, goes to their room or has in their purse their iPad, let's sign up right now. So Shelly, okay, let's sign up right now. So Shelly signs up, and then they said, we're having a party downstairs. You want to come? You're a pet pro, come on to our party. So she comes to the party. And then they say, you know what, one of our pet pros didn't make it, and we have a ticket for pawFest. Why don't you come to pawFest? And so would you please welcome, Shelly, please stand, our newest pet pro, Shelly. that's a sponsoring attitude. Right? Well done, Kathleen and Barbara. And welcome, Shelley. We're excited. And that is the way to sponsor. So let's talk about a little bit about our culture, which is an amazing culture. It really is. And culture is incredibly important to me, and I know it's incredibly important to you. And I think if there's one thing I could say, we have such a loving community, and I love that about us. And it shows. Like last night at the party, it was just like a big family reunion. Well, I should say a functioning family reunion. Right? A well-functioning family reunion. It was wonderful, and we had a great time. And we do. We have hearts of gold. We love each other. We care about being kind to each other. And sometimes I think when it comes to sponsoring, we're a little too nice. Right? Oh, I don't want to offend somebody. That might be offensive. I don't know why, to say, hey, you could make a lot of money like me and have a lot of fun. But that might offend them. I don't want to do that. That could be scary. Or I don't want to, step on their toes or make them feel uncomfortable or whatever, right? We come up with these things that we think. Well, what if somebody who invited you, what if the person who invited you felt a little too pushy to talk about the opportunity and never opened their mouth? You wouldn't be here right now. And some of you who are here right now, you kind of fell into it because somebody didn't talk to you soon enough, and you kind of found your way here, and then somebody's like, oh wow, I'm glad you joined. I didn't know that you were going to be interested. That's happened too, right? So if you think about your own experience, there's nothing that's uncomfortable or pushy or insensitive or overbearing about being courageous and bold and sharing, right? That's all it is. Being courageous and bold and sharing. And just sharing the opportunity. So I have a question for you. And this is a question that I take seriously. I asked the VPs this question on Wednesday. I asked all the leaders this question on yesterday, and now I'm going to ask everybody all at the same time. I want you to read the question before you answer. But this is a commitment that I'm asking all of you to make if you're willing. And that is to make the commitment to share the opportunity every time you talk about pawTree. And don't answer yet, because I'm going to give you some examples. This can be very simple, right? We talked about, here's some samples. I'm going to go away. I hope you don't cancel. And in 6 months, I'll find the right opportunity, and I'll tell you about the business. Well, you don't have to, in that first conversation, give them a 1-hour presentation about the opportunity, right? It can literally be, somebody time this. Ready? I'm just going to make this up on the spot. Somebody time. Ready? Somebody got it? All right. Carolyn's got it. So, oh wait, don't go yet. I didn't start talking. I mean, don't dock me 2 seconds. Okay. All right. When I start talking, then you hit record, okay? Oh, and by the way, you can also do what I do and share samples just like I shared with you and make an income and join our community. And if you'd be interested in talking about that, I'd be happy to follow up later and we can go into more details. Stop!
10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. So 10 seconds plus or minus. That is really, it can be that simple. So when I'm asking you to incorporate, what I'm trying to help us all do is change our attitude about sponsoring. Sponsoring isn't the big, scary 1-hour conversation that someone's going to be offended about and I got a bill of courage for. Sponsoring is a normal part of a conversation, just like talking dog, just like giving a sample, and making sure that before a conversation finishes where you've talked about pawTree, that whoever you're talking about knows that there's also an opportunity. And that way, if they're interested, there's an easy follow-up, and if there's not, no problem. And you're going to get lots more training on that over the next 2 days. But I just wanted us to realize that this doesn't have to, it's about an attitude. It's about getting that into the conversation. It's about thinking sponsoring. Last night, they could have easily, with Shelley, said, oh yeah, here's some samples, I'll follow up in 2 days, see you tomorrow, whatever, after we're really busy right now. Instead, Shelley's sitting in the room, right, because of her attitude. It's truly. And Shelley doesn't even have a dog, right? And we have others in the room who don't even have a dog. So you don't have to, yeah, exactly. It's not a big, scary conversation. It's an attitude of sponsoring. So, are you ready for the commitment? I'll read the question, and then I'll count 1, 2, 3. And if you're committed, say yes really, really loud. And if you're not committed, make a tiny little peep, like, okay? All right, here we go. I'll read it first. Will you commit to sharing the opportunity every time you talk about pawTree? 1, 2, 3.
Yes!
That's a sponsoring attitude. I like it. I like it. So, with that, I am super excited, more optimistic than I've ever been in the history of pawTree. I hope you guys are ready these next 2 days to bring them home.